the process took way longer, and they just really built on the project. So that was not that didn't feel good, and it was not a good experience. However,
because the questions I'm gonna ask, the stuff that this sister knows, you have to watch. Let me add, this is how you know she's a boss. See, she getting her makeup and everything done right now while we're interviewing. Like only bosses can do that. So I just want to add, that's why this interview is so important. I am glad you are joining. If you've gotten this far, you've seen some of the great clips. This is a really good interview that I had with Nella Reynolds, who's the owner of Aloire Beauty Supply, a luxury beauty supply store in the Atlanta, Georgia area. A great store, great podcast, great interview. I enjoy taking the time to sit down and talk to Nella. She is spitting out some good gems. You definitely want to check it out. There are going to be more videos and interviews like this, so you definitely want to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video. It helps me to bring more great interviews like this one, so I can share with you the great people that I get the opportunity to meet and enjoy just having a conversation. But you want to check this entire video out. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. My name is Lutalo Aryee. I'm a social media strategist. I definitely hope that you enjoy. So today, this is definitely a different interview. I have the great opportunity to sit here with a boss, a CEO, a queen of the beauty world, and that is Nella Reynolds. Nella, how you doing today?
hello. How you guys are doing?
And let me add, this is how you know she's a boss. See, she getting her makeup and everything done right now while we're interviewing. Like only bosses can do that. So I just want to add, that's why this interview is so important, because the questions I'm gonna ask, the stuff that this sister knows, you have to watch this. So tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Nella Reynolds. I'm the CEO of Aloire Beauty World. We are a luxury beauty supply store. And of course, I have other adventures that I work on, but my baby is definitely the beauty industry, obviously. I am in the midst of getting my makeup done, and I'm really super busy. So don't feel like you cannot get things done and do interviews. Just be yourself, be authentic. So the one thing about me, for sure, is I'm very authentic. I am myself at 100% of the time. So if I couldn't do this with him, we would have not done it. We just would not have done it. So being able to connect with individuals that want to be able to get the information, I'm here. So ask away. What do you need to know?
I definitely, the first question for me is, why the beauty industry? Why did what made you decide to not only get into the beauty industry, but then open your own place?
I think, to me, that's a very, very great question, but let me be as honest as possible. When you think about beauty, it's not just a surface face. It's connected, it's tied to your mental health. What we realized and experienced during the COVID is that when ladies couldn't get their hair done, their nails done, when guys couldn't get their hair cut, they were mentally, disturbed by it. And when we were able to really get back out there and just really take care of ourself, and for our looks, the guys getting their hair cut, the ladies being able to get their hair done. It was one of the most revolution things to me. Now, I've been in the industry for quite some time, so I'm very aware and very noticeable of these things, but it was very eye-opening to see across the board how men, women, all of us need beauty in our lives. So it's not superficial, it's really connected to our mental health. So one thing I really enjoy is I love making people feel good.
Okay.
So being in beauty, that's all about. It's all about making you feel good. Right. And how you make people feel good is just simple things. Right. You getting a haircut, you getting edge, oh, you look nice. Someone getting their nails done, someone getting their hair did.
Right.
It's a part of mental health at the end of the day. And I'm so glad we're able to speak about mental health so freely nowadays than we used to, because before it was like, oh my gosh, let's not talk about mental health. But mental health is very important.
Right.
It's very important, and it's, to me, it's one of the foundations when it comes to beauty.
Okay.
Because when you feel good and you look good, you just move differently.
Okay. So how does that, you know, knowing that feel good, that mental health piece, that piece of being positive, how does that relate to you? Like, how have you taken that and been able to really build your business and keep going with your business?
I think for me personally, because I am aware of what the beauty industry provides to just us regular people, right? We're all, to me, on the same level. We just do different things. So when it comes to me personally, just to kind of give you like my insight, is I had to deal with, you know, my mom's going through her little things, and she wasn't a person of wanted to enhance her, but whenever I would go get her something nice, like get her hair done, I always saw a big difference in her. So it really made me think like, oh wow. And then of course, when we as ladies get our hair done, we like, girl, and we are really into like, oh, that makes us feel good. Even though sometimes it comes off as like, oh, we're playing, but internally we feel amazing when we look good. So I recognized that, and I was like, I really want to tap into that. One, I love beauty, all things beauty. I love anything related to beauty. So I was like, you know what? Let me get into this. And how I got into the beauty supply industry wasn't something I thought I was gonna do. It really just happened. I went to sleep, woke up with a dream, and was like, all right, let's do it. That simple. Like a friend was like, Nella, you should do beauty. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I'm not doing nobody hair. I'm not doing nobody makeup. I ain't wanna do none of that.
Right.
And I was like, what I'm gonna do? Because I just left the beauty supply store. I said, what am I gonna do? Open up a beauty supply store? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. I really didn't take it seriously. So I started doing some research. I sat down at my desk. I started like looking online. Didn't see any books. I started looking on YouTube. I didn't see any videos. I didn't see anything to help me. So I was like, whatever. I dismissed it. But when I went to sleep that night, I had dreamt a whole business plan.
Okay.
And then the next day I was like, let me call the attorney. And I started the trademark process. And that's how we went. And that was in 2019. Okay.
So let's backtrack. You have a strong background in insurance.
I do.
So what were you doing before getting into the beauty business? And how did you know it was the right time? I'm going to sneak two questions in to kind of transition from that into the beauty industry.
Okay, so I've always been in insurance and finance, right? So that's like my career job. I was in finance and insurance forever. However, on the side, I did beauty, I did fashion shows. I was also a model growing up. Okay. So I've been in the industry in different reasons, on different platforms. And I started a PR firm. And with the PR firm, I started working with celebrities, helping them get their business off, helping them, because in our PR firm, we had different sectors. So we would have like the fashion industry, the actual PR portion of it. So I worked in different aspects of that. So I was connected to a lot of like high-end clienteles. I understood how the industry worked. I understood what they was looking for, what they needed. So I was like, oh, okay. However, I didn't keep doing it. I let the PR firm go. And I just kind of just stayed to myself and when it came to like beauty, like I didn't really do much as far as outside of my own self. So me still loving do makeup, loving anything about makeup, still doing research, don't even know why I'm doing research, loving the hair, loving natural hair, loving wigs. Like I was still doing those research and had no idea all that research was going to bring me to today. So all that information that I have like just dumped into myself, it made so much sense today because someone can come in here and ask about like different hair types. I can tell them. I know what they need, what the hair is going to do. It's like it prepared me for today without me even knowing. It was preparing me for today.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Just wanted to take a little break. I need you to do a couple of things. First, I need you to go ahead and like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. That helps me and helps people like you who are looking to listen to more conversations just like this that is just here to help business owners. The next thing is, are you a service-based business owner? And are you struggling to grow on social media? Are you struggling to get the customers and the clients that you truly want from your social media? Well, I've got 3 proven methods that I want to share with you. These methods I use and my clients use to grow their social media and to get the customers that they want, the customers and the clients that they want. Go ahead and go into the description, click the link, and I'll send these steps right over to you. But let's go ahead. Let's get back to the conversation. So, you know, we're here at your store at Aloire Beauty World, and you know you're up and running, and you know you can definitely tell us this was like a really easy process when you found the place. Everybody you hired came in, did everything right, and bam, you were open, right?
Heck no. What? Okay, no, not at all. So this process was not easy at all. This process was definitely time consuming. It definitely was heavy on my mental. And it was for different reasons. So what I would say is when you're your own boss, you have to make sure that you stand those grounds. So I hired a contractor. Don't get me wrong, execution wise, it looks amazing. But the process of us getting there was very troublesome to the point that I had to get legal actions involved. The process took way longer, and they just really built on the project. So that was not that didn't feel good, and it was not a good experience. However, I learned from the experience, because what I should have done was stand in my boss mode, what you guys like to call it. What I like to call is leadership, right? Okay. What I should have done was take the affirmative, actions and let them go. Okay. But I didn't do that. Okay. I was held on to emotions. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you now, let the emotions go. Okay. Emotions should not be a part of your business structure at all, because it's gonna cost you lots of money. Right. It cost me a lot of money because I kept holding on and kept holding on and kept holding on until eventually at the end I let them go. Okay. Had I did that process a long time ago, it would have saved me time, would have saved me money, would have been open much sooner. Okay. But that didn't happen. Right. So here's what I say: because it happened, it allowed me to understand that it's a part of the process. Right. And it allows me to say, okay, I have to stand in my leadership and make sure I say what I'm going to do. So if you're not meeting the needs that I need, I can't continue to work with you. Okay. As far as my team that works here, I've been so fortunate. Okay. Like, I have an amazing group of women that's around me. Okay. Like, okay. I could brag all day because they are amazing, right? So I can't say like the collective of people, like my immediate team, they're bomb. They're bomb, and it's all about like how well everyone works with each other. How well do everyone get along with each other? What qualities does this person have versus the qualities of this individual? How can you pair those up and make sure it all connects and work well? So for me personally, I have been able to pick and choose great quality individuals to be here, represent the brand to its fullest as if it's their brand. And I love the fact that they feel like it's theirs, because it lets me know that if I'm not here, they're gonna make sure it's taken care of and it's done the correct way. Okay. So what so if we were to backtrack and knowing what you know now, if you were to guide someone or in the process of opening the store and hiring someone, what would you have done differently? Or would you have done something differently? I think honestly, if I would have done anything different, I would have never learned from the things that happened. Okay. So I won't do anything different as far as what took place initially. Okay. Because if I do anything different, then I would never learn that I need to make decisions and not be afraid. Like, and I'm gonna go into the dynamics of women and men, right? Okay. So my contractor was a male, I'm a female, right? So a lot of times when it's in that industry, they have the tendency to feel like you don't know what you're doing. You cannot make decisions. And I failed initially right in that guideline because I did not do what I was supposed to do. Okay. So had I not gone through that process, the next go around, I probably will fall into it on the second time around.
Okay.
But I'm so happy I didn't.
Okay.
I'm so happy that I did it the first time,
Okay.
because what will happen next time won't happen the second time.
Okay.
So I won't change anything that happened for the simple fact that then I would never be able to learn the mistakes that that happened the first time around.
Okay.
So no, we're not changing anything. We're just gonna grow from it and keep it moving.
So you say next time. So next time means there's a second store
There's multiple more stores
Okay.
that's coming.
All
like,
right.
stop playing.
So we got any dates? We got any timelines?
No,
We're gonna put it out there. We got some goals.
We're not putting anything out there. Just know this: it's gonna be more stores coming.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. So let's talk social media. Do you think today that especially in the beauty industry that social media is important, and if so, why?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, first of all, in the beauty industry, social media is very important because we like to see.
Okay.
We like to see how it works. We like to see, does it work well for you? And we like to see, okay, let's talk about like makeup, right? So a lot of ladies like to see people in the same complex of their skin tone, right? And they see, oh, they're using this product. Oh, it looks good on them. It makes them look like this. I'm going to get it too, because it may make me feel like it, or it may make me look like that as well. So people don't realize that. People look at other people, especially in the same, complex tones, to see what they're using. Does it work for them? And if it does, it may work for me. It's the same when it comes to hair. Ooh, that looks good on her. Makes her look like this. I want it too. Guys are a little different, but women, that's how they move. It has to look good on someone else, and they will feel like, oh, that may look good on me, and so they will buy it. Social media is the perfect storm when it comes to beauty. I think beauty, as for statistically, has increased tremendously because of social media.
Okay.
Because you can see, and it's like, oh wow, this looks amazing. I want to try this.
Okay.
If this is seen on the wall on a package, and you have no idea what to do with it, 9 times out of 10 it's going to stay there.
Okay.
Someone has to go get it. Someone has to try it out and say, y'all go get this.
Okay.
If you have a huge enough following and they believe in what you're saying,
Okay.
all they got to go do is get a product and tell you to go buy it,
Okay.
and you're going to go buy it.
Okay.
So social media is very important when it comes to beauty.
So for you, would you say that you've always been that social bug, and just jumping on social media was just your thing, and once you got on it, you were good, and you got out there? So tell me about your travel down social media.
No, I have never been good at social media. I am a behind the scenes type person,
Okay.
so social media was not always the first thing that came to my mind. I did not like going on. I did not like doing videos. I didn't like doing any of that.
Okay.
And what I thought people was looking for or needed, it really wasn't that.
So what did you think? What did you think?
So I thought it had to be like all this perfect and these like real edited videos
Okay.
and all this stuff.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be all of that.
Okay.
I think what people are really looking for is authenticity. So if you're an authentic person and you're coming off as authentic as you can be, I think people really gravitate to that. So when I just started just like pulling out the camera and just like, I'm like, these people ask me all these questions. So
Okay.
let me start just answering these questions.
Okay.
When I started doing that, people would say, oh, they had more questions for me. So I'm like, all right, I'll answer that question.
Okay.
And it just kept going down a spiral road from there. And then people like, oh, I love watching your videos. I love the behind the scenes. Oh, I love this. And I'm like, really?
Okay.
So I had no clue what they was looking for. So I changed my page to really all about, the beauty supply industry. So everything that I do related to the beauty supply industry is really on my page. So I'll go live and I talk about how to do inventory, what products you would want to have in your store, pricing. I talk about average order value. Like I talk about a lot of things that's related to the business itself.
Okay.
And I do that on social media.
Okay.
So I get people from all over the world.
Okay.
Like literally I had someone from Africa who had a beauty supply store.
Okay.
We're talking about products,
Okay.
pricing, I'm just like, this is amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, no, social media, I didn't want to get on social media.
Okay.
But I'm here though.
Okay. Okay, so we'll talk about platforms. You know, you Aloire, you've got Facebook, you're on Instagram, we're doing TikTok. So tell me if there is a social media preference, and if so, you know, why?
I do have a preference.
Okay.
I actually like TikTok more.
Okay.
I think with TikTok, I'm really able to really be myself.
Okay.
I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but it's like with TikTok, you don't have to have it so clean. It doesn't have to be so picture perfect. You literally could just turn your camera on and have a conversation.
Okay.
I usually, in the mornings, I go live. You know, we may talk about me drinking my coffee,
Okay.
and then I may be saying, hey, let's have an amazing day, provide inspiration. And I'll probably do that like 7 o'clock in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll do that, right?
Okay.
I'm not doing that on on Instagram.
Okay.
You know, that
Okay.
that just doesn't really correlate the same.
Okay.
And it could be because I don't really do a lot of like lives on that platform, but
Okay.
I feel like TikTok is just a lot easier for you to just really just be yourself and be okay with that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But yeah, that's my preference.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. It's my understanding that on TikTok you've got to get to 1,000 followers before you're able to go live.
That is correct.
So how do you remember how long that took? And was when you were actually doing videos on TikTok, was that a thought like, okay, at this point I want to work myself to get live, or did it just kind of happened?
It kind of happened,
Okay.
honestly, but because I'm goal driven. And once I realized that I wanted to be like go live and stuff, I was like, all right, we got to get to these 1,000
Okay.
followers.
Okay.
But I had a video that I had like a series of videos that went viral.
Okay.
So I had maybe close to a little over 150,000 views.
Okay.
So that
Sweet.
immediately had so many people start following me because of that incident. And it was me going to a beauty supply store who was going out of business, and I asked him, can I buy their mannequins, right? And I didn't think he realized I was really trying to buy all of his mannequins. And he got nervous. He literally started to like stutter and was like, okay, what are you doing? And I was basically saying, hey, you said I can buy these mannequins, so I want to buy all your mannequins.
Right.
And he basically stopped the sale. Like he allowed me to buy some of them, but then he stopped the sale. So I probably got maybe 10, maybe 10, 12 mannequins for him.
Okay.
But I really was going there to clean up,
Okay.
you know? And I don't think he realized of the buying power that I had.
Right.
So that really made him feel nervous, and he got scared. I feel so, because he started to stutter and he pretty much said I couldn't buy no more.
Okay.
So then I went to my vendor and bought brand new mannequins, and I cleaned them out because I needed mannequins, you know,
Right.
like I needed mannequins. So I cleaned them out and got all of the mannequins that they had.
Okay.
And now when I came home, I was taking my makeup off, and I just started dancing, and I was like, that man really didn't know I had the buying power. Like, I was really just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So I just was moving around, and they didn't realize I got the buying power because I was there to buy, you know? That video just went crazy. And it was like story time. I was like, okay, story time it is. And I'm very animated. I'm so animated, it's ridiculous. Like, I was like, so boom, check this out, you know, and that went crazy.
Yeah.
And then I showed the flyer so people could see, this is what the flyer said. I am selling my business. You can come in and get products, or you can buy the store. So I just showed the process of what happened.
Okay.
And they was appreciative of that.
Okay.
And literally, you know, sometimes you have mixed comments.
Right.
Everybody was like, yeah, like everybody was on the same page, which is never really like that on TikTok.
Right.
You got trolls.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that
Absolutely.
didn't happen on that video,
Absolutely.
which was, and I think because we don't see ourselves owning,
Right.
you know, beauty supply stores.
Yeah.
So for them to say, oh wow, they was really on it.
Right.
They was for it.
Okay.
So that really kind of propelled everything else.
Okay. So yeah, now you mentioned something. It's interesting. I actually had an experience with a troll. Have you had any experiences with any internet trolls? Okay, so how do you usually handle it? What's your thought?
It don't bother me.
Okay.
Like, I think for people, they see trolls and then they be like they be cussing them out. For me personally, I be like, I don't know this person.
Right.
And this person don't know me. Like, honestly, they'll be like, oh, you like a man. I was like, oh, okay. What somebody said? Somebody said, go do your hair. I said, okay. Like, so people say things, but I think the thing is what we have to realize, especially in these positions.
Yeah.
People are going to do that.
So you had mentioned kind of the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now you had mentioned on the Facebook side, it has been kind of maybe the search. Somebody will do a search and they kind of find you. Is that more on Facebook, or it just still kind of varies?
Yeah, I think with Facebook, it's really like people that really know me and that has expanded that relationship. So it's more like people where if I used to live in a different state that still keep up with me.
Okay.
Oh, when I come into your area, I'm gonna definitely come by your store.
Okay.
And then they're sharing different posts.
Okay.
And so I remember when I showed the picture of the store.
Yeah.
Initially.
Okay.
The question I got the most was, is that your store?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't take offense to it because, again, we don't see that often. We don't see us in the beauty supply industry like that.
Right.
So I did not take it lightly. I mean, I didn't take offense to it at all. And then it has a high-end feel to it.
Right.
So, of course, they're not going to think like, okay, yeah, that's hers, you know?
Okay.
Because I got so many questions.
So that I'm now saying that it's gonna pull me out of the social media side, because the burning question. So how can a black person get into the beauty supply industry? Because when we go to a lot of stores, and people know this, we don't see us. We see very few of us that are the owners. We might be at the counter, but we don't see us as the owners. So what this industry and us getting into, because my understanding, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say the beauty industry is the #1 industry when it comes to black folk, African Americans in the U.S. Multi-billion-dollar industry. That's the #1 thing. They're like those top 5 things that we buy. But the beauty industry is the #1 industry we invest in, or we purchase in the industry. But we're not the #1 in the industry. So how is it that you're able to penetrate an industry that appears to not really want us to be able to be owners?
Okay, that's a great question. So first and foremost, beauty is recession proof. Okay, so being in the beauty industry,
shout out to recession proof now.
Good. So beauty is definitely recession proof. But here's the thing, I think as a community, we made it harder to understand what we needed to get into this industry, right? So when you sit down and think about what do you really need to get into the industry, you have to be able to play the same cards that they're dealing with, right? So first and foremost, you need to do is get educated and be knowledgeable, right? What documents do you need? Right, you need your LLC, obviously. You need your resale because you're reselling products, right? Right. You need, so you got to understand that the documents that you need to get you into the door, which is easy to get. Those things, but we don't know this. Right. The second thing is being able to get a location, find a location, right? And depending on the landlord, right? So finding a location, that could be for any type of business. It could be a business for you to have a social media locate, so it's just next is you find your location, understanding what the guidelines are within that. A lot of these companies, when it comes to beauty supply, like the hair, they want to work with beauty supplies owners, and you have to have a beauty supply store in order for you to be able to connect with them. So they may pop up, because they sure popped up at my store.
Wow.
They may pop up. They may not still work with you, because they popped up at my store and they still don't work with me, but we still in business.
Wow.
So you got to make sure you turn that sensitivity mode off, have your documents in order, because they can't deny that. They can't deny that. And here's what I do. Here's a tip, y'all. Find other beauty supply owners that look like you, that's willing to work with you. You may have an account, they may have an account, I may have an account. Why not we can't get together and we use each other's account and we stay in business and we beat the system that way? Because sometimes they try to play you. I'm getting a little real. Sometimes they try to play you, but if you play them back, ain't nothing they can do about it.
All right, so to close out, where can we find you?
Great question. So you can find me in multiple platforms, and you can find me at the location. So I am on TikTok as the Beauty Supply Guru. I am on Instagram as Aloire Beauty or Nella Reynolds. I'm on Facebook as Aloire Beauty World or Nella Reynolds. And I am here located in Chamblee, Georgia at 1841 Chamblee Tucker Road. And we're on the second floor. We're a boutique luxury store, so come by, come check us out.
Nella, thank you so much for this opportunity to interview you, and really appreciate the nuggets. I got some mental notes. I think next time I'm gonna make sure I got some red notes, but I can always rewind and watch back.
Yes,
but really appreciate the tips. Really appreciate the stuff, and I'm definitely looking forward to. That's why I had mentioned the goal. So it's like I was trying to push to see when you're gonna open the next door, but we'll come back. But we'll have a future interview.
We'll do that,
and we're gonna recap on everything. But
we'll do that. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.